Anthony Edwards did not come out of nowhere. The signs were there early. The confidence was there early. The force was there early. People just kept mistaking all of it for noise.
I knew he was going for the layup, and I was just like, man, I'm finna go get this.
Blocked! Edwards getting up! Edwards! Crossover! Pull up! Daniels!
That's what makes his rise so interesting now. Not that he shocked the world, but the world kept looking at a future superstar and acting like it needed more proof. Anthony Edwards never carried himself like someone waiting to be discovered. That's the first thing people got wrong about him. Before the playoff explosions, before the viral dunks, before the league started talking about him like one of the next great faces of basketball.
A conversation this summer with a high executive at Minnesota, and he was talking about Anthony Edwards.
And already looked like he expected to matter. Not hoped to, expected to. And that kind of belief makes people uncomfortable before it makes them believers. Because basketball fans say they love swagger, until a young player has too much of it. Then swagger becomes arrogance. Confidence becomes immaturity. Personality becomes something people feel the need to correct. That happened to Anthony Edwards. Even with all the talent in the world, people kept circling the same doubts. Was he good enough? Did he love the game enough? Was he too loose? Too raw? Too entertaining to be truly dangerous? That's why his story works so well now. Because none of the talent was hidden. The athleticism was obvious from the start. The first step was violence. The lift was elite. The body control was ridiculous. The power through contact was real.
He is box office. Box office. I mean, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I just love it when you talk shit and you back it up.
He could be smiling on the wing 1 second, then exploding through the lane the next, turning a normal possession into something that felt like a warning. Everyone saw that part. But the athleticism was never the real story. The real story was presence. The kind that changes the feel of the floor. The kind that makes people lean forward the second the ball finds him. The kind that makes big moments feel less like pressure and more like something he's been waiting for. And that is rare. And Ant had it early. He talked like the stage belonged to him. He played like the pressure fed him. He smiled like he knew exactly what kind of problem he could become. That matters more than people think, because superstars are not built from skill alone. They're built from appetite, from wanting the moment, from hunting the moment, from stepping into the brightest part of the game and looking comfortable there.
It's not cocky, it's not arrogance, I'm just a confident person. I just think I'm the best in everything that I do.
Anthony Edwards has always looked comfortable there, even before the game fully caught up. That's why he never felt like a normal prospect. He didn't feel generic. He didn't feel temporary. He didn't feel like someone slowly waiting to become important. He felt like a force the league was eventually going to have to deal with. Then Minnesota made him the #1 overall pick in 2020. That changed the volume, not the player.
With the first pick in the 2020 NBA Draft, the Minnesota Timberwolves select Anthony Edwards.
The spotlight got brighter. The doubt got louder. Because being drafted first doesn't calm people down. It makes them harsher. Now, every weak stretch becomes proof. Every quote becomes a debate. Every flaw becomes content. And for a while, that's where Anthony Edwards lived. People loved the highlights. They weren't fully sold on the player. Was he just fun? Or was he actually becoming the guy? That was the question. And over time, he answered it the only way real stars do.
You feel like there's anybody in the league who can guard you?
Hell no. No.
By taking away the excuses. The scoring sharpened, the handle tightened, the shot making improved, the reads got better, the defensive engagement started showing up more often, the command kept growing. Little by little, potential stopped feeling theoretical. It became evidence. That's the moment everything changes for a player like Ant, because flashes are easy to dismiss. Flashes let people stay skeptical. But when the flashes start showing up over and over again, they stop being flashes. They become identity. That happened with Anthony Edwards. The game stopped feeling like something he was still trying to enter. It started feeling like something he was learning to bend. And that is the line between star and superstar. A star can score. A superstar changes the mood of the game. Ant started doing that.
Edwards!
There are players who produce, and then there are players who can flip an arena in 30 seconds. A hard drive, a step back three, a chase down block, a steal that becomes a dunk, a burst that changes the emotional temperature of the night. That isn't just talent. That is command. And command is what turns admiration into fear. That is why Anthony Edwards feels bigger than the box score. He's loose and dangerous at the same time. He jokes, he grins, he keeps everything light. Then he turns the corner and attacks like he's trying to put his will on the entire building. That combination is magnetic, because some stars are brilliant but distant. Some stars are effective but forgettable. Some stars are clean and efficient but don't make people feel anything. Ant makes people feel something. Excitement, tension, expectation. He feels like something could happen every time he decides it should. And once a player gives people that feeling consistently, the questions change. You stop asking if he is becoming a star. You start asking how high this thing can actually go. That is where playoffs matter, because the regular season can introduce a player. The playoffs expose him. That is where space disappears. That's where mistakes get hunted. That's where every possession gets heavier. That is where stars either tighten up or take over. Anthony Edwards started looking more awake there. And the first big signal came against Phoenix in 2023.
Who's your GOAT?
My GOAT?
Your GOAT.
Man, it's gonna sound crazy, but Kevin Durant.
That series mattered because of who was on the other side. Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, bigger stage, a brighter spotlight. And Ant didn't look impressed by any of it. He looked ready for it.
Ant-Man in full effect. Oh, nice hands. Oh, Edwards, it's showtime. Room service.
He scored 36 in Game 2, then 41 in Game 4 with Minnesota facing elimination. The Timberwolves lost the series, but the point wasn't the results. The point was the look. Not overwhelmed, not deferential, not acting like the names on the other side were supposed to make him step back. That was an early warning. Then came Denver in 2024, and that was bigger. Now it was the defending champions. Now it was Jokic. Now it was the team that looked like the most stable force in basketball. And for long stretches, Anthony Edwards looked like the most dangerous player in the series.
Edwards, it's a three. Good! Blocked away. Here we go. Edwards at the other end.
He opened that series with 41 in Game 1. Then he had 27, 7, and 7 in Game 2 as Minnesota went up 2-0 in Denver. For a while, the defending champs looked like they were reacting to him, not the other way around. That matters, because against Denver, he wasn't just talented. He was imposing. Exploding in transition, hitting big shots, attacking the paint, playing with the kind of confidence that makes even a champion look uncomfortable.
Oh, there's a steal by Edwards. Here he comes.
There were moments in that series where he didn't look like a young player learning the stage. He looked like someone grabbing it. That's when the earlier criticism starts sounding weak. Was he immature, or were people just uncomfortable with how naturally he carried himself? Was he only an athlete, or were people using athleticism as an excuse to ignore the skill, feel, and competitive instinct developing right in front of them? Was he overhyped, or were they just late? That is the real Anthony Edwards story. Not that he fooled the world, that he warned the world. The confidence was there. The force was there. The charisma was there. The appetite for the moment was there. Eventually, the consistency caught up to the aura. And once that happened, everything accelerated. Now he doesn't feel like a fun young player. He feels like one of the players the league is eventually going to revolve around. That is different. Because the NBA is always looking for the next center of gravity. The next player who can own the stage without feeling artificial. The next player who can sell highlights, belief, rivalry, pressure, and atmosphere all at once. Anthony Edwards has that kind of gravity. Fans don't just watch him for the outcome. They watch him because he feels alive. And basketball has always belonged to players who can do that. Not just the efficient ones, the ones who charge the air, the ones who make the crowd restless, the ones who make every possession feel like it might become a moment. Ant is already entering that territory, and that is why this story lands. Because when you look back, none of it feels random. Not easy, not guaranteed, but not random. The signs were everywhere. In the body language, in the fearlessness, in the way he attacked pressure instead of respecting it, in the way he carried expectation like it belonged there. Most players need time to look like they belong to the moment. Anthony Edwards often looked like he wanted to speed the moment up. That is a superstar instinct. And the scary part is that this still feels unfinished. He still feels like a player discovering how much damage he can really do once the force, skill, poise, and timing all fully arrive together. That's why people are drawn to him. Not just because he's explosive, not just because he's entertaining, because he feels like the beginning of something larger. A new centerpiece, a new force, a new takeover artist for the next era of basketball. And when that kind of rise happens, people love to act surprised. They love to pretend the star appeared out of nowhere. But Anthony Edwards didn't come from out of nowhere. That is the point. He was never just a gifted scorer, never just a viral dunker, never just a loud personality people liked talking about. He was a signal that a new superstar was coming. One who does not seem intimidated by the stage. One who seems energized by it. One who doesn't just want the future, but wants the pressure that comes with it. That is why the league should have seen him coming. The talent was obvious. The confidence was obvious. The appetite for the moment was obvious. The only thing that wasn't obvious to everybody else was how long they were going to keep doubting what they were looking at. Anthony Edwards isn't waiting to become the future. He's already forcing himself into the present. And that might be the most dangerous part of all. Because if this is only the beginning, then the rest of the league isn't dealing with hype anymore. They're dealing with the version of Anthony Edwards they should have recognized a long time ago. If you want more basketball stories about stars the world misread before it was too late, subscribe to Hardwood Untold.